Hi, greetings. I want to welcome all my family members, my friends and family members on Facebook, YouTube. I'm greeting every person, place, or thing in existence. I hope all is well with you. All right. So today's gathering is going to be under the concept and the idea of magic. Like I explained earlier, I was having discussions with a few beautiful people in our existence about magic, all forms of magic, black magic, white magic, personal magic, group magic, Christmas magic, Easter magic. There's all types of magic. I'm going to also do a live video so I could be more thorough and maybe perhaps take some questions. But because this is a video and I'm going to do some reading, I got a few books here before me. So because of the in-depth and intense frequency of the conversation, I thought it would be only right for me to do some clarity, bring some clarity to things. Because again, when I spoke of magic earlier in my videos, it was, I don't remember it. I do remember, but I cannot quite follow it because I haven't gone back and looked over it. I didn't pinpoint right where it is. Next time when you people find something that you want to bring to light, please be able to tell me what video it's on. So that way we can at least go back to the video and do some research of the video. However, I do remember it, and like, it was more than, you got to understand, most times I'm just making mentioning of certain things. Really, and I give you this as a disclaimer in my videos, that I rarely share too much of what my personal concept in life is and of in a group, especially on social media. Now, I teach, I might explain and tell us what we're supposed to be and should be doing ethically and etiquetely, right? But for the most part, my books, the videos that I post, it doesn't merely mean that this is the author's base and foundation of knowledge or state of insight. So keep that in mind when you in a monastery, because keep in mind what we doing right here, what you and I sharing, is like they have in the physical world, a building, but we in a spiritual sense with it. So this here, since on earth, the monasteries are the highest forms of places of gathering for where individuals deem that they will be around the most intelligent. A monastery is higher than your colleges. your sanctuaries. A monastery is higher than your university. All right, so keeping in mind, this is a video, so I have to move on. Again, I'm going to do a live stream where we can get a little bit more in touch and in detail with things. So, my reason for reading is so that people can be clear and know what magic is. All right? I'm hoping to do a thorough, pure, good, clean job or state of expressing what is intended for us to receive here. That's my intention. See? I'm not here to destroy, take away, or cause you to believe in something other than what you wish for. My whole sole purpose for this message is for the clarity and the advancement of insights of the individual who so wills. If you're not willing for this, then this information doesn't pertain to you. I'm not talking to you. And you should probably at this time turn the video off. Now, when I do a live video, I will get into more details about a little surface scratching of myself, how I come to be where I am, and speaking a little bit more on black and white magic period, and as a whole. However, in summary and in brief, let me explain. Magic is nothing but manifesting that which you see in your mind's eye in the physical world. It's just that. See, you thought it was deep. You thought you needed candles. You thought you needed fire. A voodoo doll, didn't you? You needed some frankincense, some sage burning. That's what you was looking for, right? Dark room with a 6-point, what is it, five-pointed cross, or with a 5-pointed cross. A star. Excuse me. This is what you was looking for? That's why you're frightened and you're scared out your mind. You have not the correct and right understanding. People, if you are scared and you fear magic, anything for that matter, it just means that fear is a natural thing. That's a natural emotion. So would it be bad for me to be fair? It can be. Very detrimental. Just like poison ivy. You don't mess with it. You ain't get a long game with poison ivy. But you don't hate it. You understand that it's a natural plant. That's what it do. It's just going to grow. So therefore, you take by all means to do what's necessary to do where y'all can live in harmony and peace. Well, this is the same thing what you do with warlocks, wiccans, and witches. You only fear because you don't have understanding. People fear the unaware. People fear that which they don't know. That's the only reason for fear. Ignorance. Let's read from the book of people who wrote about magic. All right? The title of this book that I'm reading from is called Buckland's. Bucklands. Buckland's Complete Book of Witchcraft. Raymond Buckland is his name, and it's a classic course in Wicca for 25 years. All right, so you see, this has existed way long before you come along and hipping and ripping and hollering and yelling about what you so-called just now starting to believe in. You should give yourself a break. Learn to see the goodness in everything, and then you harmonize it together and use it for your betterment. That's the ticket here. There's opposite poles in everything. Stop looking for the pessimistic and the worst of them. Learn to look for the brighter side in every ugly situation. You say you go and vote for the lesser evil. Why you don't look at life and extract the best of things, the best of ideas? You do not have to be born on Halloween or any of these so-called satanic. I don't believe in really when it get down to the essence and we're at the electrifying copper of the matter. Believe in anything or think that there's anything satanic or bad. But I grew there. The same thing you have to do. You have to grow into that idea, that energy, that state of existing. You see the difference? You got bad days, I don't. You got enemies, I don't. You do not have to have a 5-pointed star in your lines of your hand to be a witch or a warlock or a Wiccan. You do. And people, I'm going to be reading here. I will do a little paraphrasing because when I say witch or Wicca, Wiccans, I'm talking about magic, period. It's all the same thing. Let me explain before we read on. We have our high, okay? Our good will be your good, and your low will be what you call negative, bad aspect of magic. Remember, the hyperboloid theory, there's opposing opposite sides to everything. But it's just in different degrees. Hot will never know it's hot if there was no cold. Understand that. You have your left and your right, your night and your day, your blue and your red, God and the devil. You do not have to be the seventh child of a seventh child to be a witch, a warlock, or practice magic. Nor do you have to wear strange robes or be naked. wear lots and lots of jewelry, or paint your fingernails black. People who practice magic are ordinary people who are around you all day, every day. And I'm talking about the true concept of the art of magic, and we're going to get to that. I'm not talking about this book stuff that you can go and buy out of a library. If this was really pertinent and useful magic, do you think that you will be able to? Everybody will be at Barnes and Nobles. This is bullshit. This is the watered down version. This is the shit where you need that you read. Excuse my words. This is the material that you read, and you need a professor with you to explain it. Just like the Bible. Just like that, people. Personal cup made by my star's sons and their elders. So much energy sent out, kudos, shout out, whatever, to that energy over in that particular section of the universe. You don't need to, I don't name names. I don't need to name names and all that and places where they are. Why? Because it's an internal, inside job. I'm see them. I'm doing right now for them what you would probably want me to come and do for you physically. That's selfishness. That's lack of understanding. That's humanoid. That's humanism. People who practice magic are ordinary people just like me. I'm probably one of the most powerful creatures right now, walking around enclosed in this capsule. I ain't gonna take nothing away from you niggas in the Grand Canyons and beyond. But when it comes to America and magic, put it like this. I've been in the lion's den, and both me and him is living heavenly, fabulous and deliciously. Real talk. It's just people who have found the right way of living and doing things. We are people, witches, warlocks, okay? People who practice magic are just individuals who have found the right way to be living. Here's the kicker. For themselves. It's not for you, then listen, please, live your life. I'm not here to tell you what type of life to be living. And I please will ask that you do the same and feel for me. Let me live my life or you kill me. Witchcraft, black magic, white magic, warlocks, witches, wiccas, and war, whatever, etc., is an ancient religion and practice that predates, and we're going to change the word religion to that with way of living or a way of life, Okay? We're going to replace a way of life for the word religion. So, again, manipulating the elements of the paradigm of the dimension in which you are in, which in science they call the laws of physics. And if you don't know what the laws of physics are, earth, wind, water, fire. Those are your elements. And in a mathematical code of 3, 6, and 9. You understand this, you unlock the key to the universe. You, this dimension only. Thereby having the ability to create avatars and further expansions. Ashe? So we don't want to spend much time. We really don't want to go over 30 minutes with this. We're now at 20 minutes, a little over 20 minutes. So let's do some speed reading. I hope you get the concept. I'm hoping I'm being thorough. Again, keep in mind, this information is just for the advancement and the enlightenment of what true witchcraft is. All right? And I abstracted, as you see, highlighted. Well, I ain't gonna show it. I know visions can be a little disruptive when not perceived right. So let me keep the symbolism a little modest. But again, I've highlighted the most necessary parts and information that we need to have in order to not be scared of magic, sorcery, witchcraft, voodoo. Voodoo. Mommy, he got a Ouija board in the closet. What did you get for Christmas, Johnny? Oh, I got a Ouija board. Can I come over and play? What? No, son, you're not going over Billy's house no more. They were practicing. Honey, they're Satan. I told you when these people moving, they were satanic. Stop that. That's too much TV. You're not making no movie. Nobody laughing at you. Who watching you want to laugh because you acting stupid, talking stupid? That's dumb. That's ignorant. People like me, gods, that's debasing. I know. That makes me want to get away from you. Why are you talking like, calm down, dog. Go calm down or something. Smoke some weed. So, again, when I work magic, all I'm doing is manifesting what I see in my mind. And you could call it what you want. Just call it being great. Well, should I say, let's acknowledge it as just being great and phenomenal. Just because you can't do it, don't be upset when you see other people bringing out from what's in the darkness to light, because that's what dark and light is. Dark is that what I ain't tell you yet. Light will be exposed. You having clarity, insight. Bing! Did a bulb go off in your head yet? That's why I recommend people coming up out of religion. I really do. It's so detrimental to one's destruction of psyche and mentality. It demoralizes the individual gradually into the debasement of the You see? For centuries, due to the Christian persecution, it had to operate in hiding. That's the practicing of magic. Manipulating the elements and the forces of nature. This is what happened. You gotta understand. Over a period of time, as we went on, people fell as the Quran states from the felicity of state in which they was in. What does that mean? Felicity means to be at a state of utopianism and harmony, peace, love, and tranquility, etc., etc., etc. All those things are a good thing. But you fail in that degree. So, same thing with that power. People became up with feeble ideas, and as Carter G. Woodson explains, miseducating and misleading you about what magic is. I hear people tell me today, oh, Nate, I practiced magic before. I know it did me bad, or it shouldn't be practiced. This is not a good thing. People, that's not you was practicing magic, but that's unfortunate for you. You got caught up with the low, not the high aspect of magic. What is high aspect of magic, Nate? High aspect is when I'm dealing and thinking in the spiritual realm. I'm wanting for spiritual things. I'm manifesting that of what has not been seen or heard yet. What is low magic then, Nate? That when people want for the physical things, putting curses on somebody, you putting 8 in your wallet because you want more money, you putting shit all on your cars and crosses and things all over your room and oils on your tires so you don't get a ticket. That's the low. I don't practice that. Nate, did you ever? Yes, I did. I used to have my voodoo dolls with the pins and niggas' pictures and shit all on the wall. Hair, women's panties. Excuse me, strike that. But you understand the low now? That's low, yeah. And this is why, and see, the thing is, too, it says here that it had to operate in hiding. Get your markers out. Y'all should have pen and paper, too, writing things down that I say. So you can revert and go back over it after it's all over. Because you're always going to continuously grow in your concept. Get yourself a highlighter. That's important. So when you have books and material, you highlight it. And what highlighting does is it extracts the most vibrant aspect of what you visualize. Right? So, if witchcraft, black magic and white magic, is an ancient religion, right, or way of life, and a practice that predates Christianity, right, it is not anti-Christian or anti-anything, but simply non-Christian. For centuries, right, due to the Christian persecution, it had to operate in hiding. Why? Because you don't understand. You fell from the higher science of what woodu is. You people are mostly doing everything all for the wrong reasons. Everything you've been taught, you're doing upside down, inside out, and backwards. So still, as in the times of old, today, people rather and prefer to practice their magic without putting on my black fingernail polish and so forth. Because most people would do things, and if you're doing it upside down, wrong, and backwards, you're doing it for the wrong reason. And what happens, the individual end up hurting themselves. See? So the concept and the idea about magic had to go underground, and therefore today we get people who fear this. And what did I teach you about fear? Huh? First of all, fear destroys the organs in the body. It tears it down over a period of time. Even the immune system, where you become very ill, sick, and diseased. Mentally, spiritually, psychologically, and physically, into your ultimate demise of being unalive. Over so many repressed generations, the craft almost died out, but it did manage to struggle on in isolated areas through to the 20th century. Midway through the century, the last laws against witchcraft were finally repealed, and any survivors were once again free to come out into the open. Few, however, took that chance, and still, like I said, as it was then to this day, until the vibration, the frequency of Earth raised above the human level more than 33 degrees. That's what they do. Look it up. That's what Trump and them do. It's a Masonic symbol. Most of your basketball players in sports do it. Shut up. Shh. Keep that shit underground. Because you'll operate better and be more powerful. Because people are unaware who you are. See, nobody never knew that I was a grand warlock sheik in witchcraft until I said something and brought out material. I've been working magic and they've been loving it. Until you found out that it wasn't coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Buddha, Emmanuel, Jesus the Christ. Oh, now I'm satanic. Who do you think I learned all that from? Did you know Jesus was one of the greatest witchcraft or magic? Study the scriptures. Study that Bible. You'll see that he operated in the mathematical code of 3, 6, and 9. Look at the Last Supper. How many niggas did he have with him? 12. 2 and 1 is what? You getting your aha moment yet? See, you gotta understand, these niggas found Jesus by following the North Star. You got to use numerology and astrology, magic and voodoo and witchcraft. If you don't, you weak, and you'll never amount to none of the work that Jesus done, let alone greater insights and developments of self. This science here is about healing the aura. We bring to you as warlocks and witches, auric healing, pranic healing, absit healing, color healing, gem therapy, meditation, how to deal with animals, plants, and positive thinking. Above all things, above all things, above all things, think positively. Now, that's going to go over a lot of people's heads. What I just said right there. And that was a jewel in itself that needs to be left alone. We need not say anymore. We should go be playing basketball or something. Or whatever it is that you do. I can go play some chess now. I said it, above all things, think positively. But we really don't need to go no further. I done just proved what a warlock or witch is by telling you to what? Ain't that what you go to church for? Oh, I'm sorry, he must not be telling you that then. Yeah, he's supposed to be explaining to you that you're supposed to be thinking positively out here in existence. Because the mind dictates and controls everything. He should be explaining you that this is where the real magic comes from. Not no voodoo doll or no book. This is an illuminated guide to magic, witchcraft, and sorcery. You know what illumination mean, people? Somebody tell me what does illumination mean? Huh? Wasn't Satan and Jesus illuminated? The bright and shiny morning star? Come on now. I told you they practiced magic way before me. You just let T.G. Jake and them fool you. You let Rick Warren and Joyce Myers fool you. You let Billy Graham fool you. And now they done took your magic away from you and made you scared of it. And all you can do now is go give your money away every Sunday to them. That's not magic, goddammit. I'm in the wrong goddamn magic. Shit. I'm in the wrong magic. I'm not, wow. You mean you could pass around a copper bowl and collect enough to buy you a jet? I got my magic twisted. My shit is weak. I better up my game. So don't be scared of me. I can't do shit. I ain't did shit yet. If I ain't getting niggas to come on a particular day and a time and give me money, I'm the least of your goddamn sorcerers. And probably going to be your best. Because you said money is the root of all evil. I didn't say that, you did. Witchcraft is not merely legendary, it was and is real. It's you saying anything or doing anything repetitiously in the periods of 3. Oops, there it is. It's not extinct. It's not something mystical. It's not a religion. It's alive. It's prospering. We're at the time in the age of the Aquarius, which means you need to be awakening. You need to become Superman and stop trying to look for him on Saturday cartoon. The new filming now is a nigga with a cell phone on you. Ain't nobody watching TV for Spider-Man and Wonder Woman no more. When I'm driving on the highway, on my motorcycle, I'm looking for Wonder Woman. Front end up. You know what I'm talking about? Since the last laws against witchcraft were repealed, as recently as, look, as 1950s too. Witchcraft have been able to come out into the open and show themselves for who they are. That's why you think the LGBT and all them people came out? Huh? And who the hell are you, Nate? Are you the one that be worshiping the man under the ground with the pitchfork and the two horns and the long tail? Diablo Red? Nate, are you the one that's talk to the spirits and spooky and you go around haunting people and scaring them in their dreams? Moving things in their room? No. And if you think anything like that, then you need real therapy. You need help. Ain't no way you supposed to be over 6 years old thinking like that. These witches, these warlocks, these Wiccans, they are your average judges, doctors, lawyers, school teachers, police officers, fighter fighters, crossing guards. They are intelligent. They are illuminated. They are illuminated. Why? Because they read the manual. They got the guide. This is a guide to being a master warlock or witch. It's a community. It's a community of consciousness, thoughtful men and women of today. Witchcraft is not a step backward, a retreat into a more superstitious filled time. Far from it. It is a step forward. Witchcraft is a religion far more relevant to the times than the vast majority of the established churches. It is the acceptance of personal and social responsibility. So let us now look at some of the Wiccans or the warlocks or the people who practice voodoo, black magic, whether it be white magic or any of these elemental forces in nature. Keeping in mind, if you don't have an understanding of the said basic foundation of what witchcraft is, I'm going to repeat it. It's the ability to manipulate. Write this down. You should have pen and paper. Or you good commit to memory type individuals such as myself. If you got an internal chalkboard that you write on, you go ahead and do it that way. Most people can't do it that way, especially you humans. So it's best as they teach you in your schools, write it down because you could see it better. I don't have to do it that way because I'm not human. You're not cut from the same cloth as me. So don't put yourself in my shoes. Don't try to do and be what you're not. Be yourself. Amen. 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 So let's do some grounding. Let me ground myself. This way I keep the composure that you need. You know what I mean? That you need. I got to do this a certain way. And there's methods to it. I'm working magic right now. When the chirping and the water sounds you hear in the background, the trees that you see, That's part of my magic. Don't it? And isn't it, when you first seen this video, didn't you say, oh wow, that's a beautiful background? You talk about that's a beautiful background. So it shows that you can think positively. You have good in you. You just have to learn to control that. When you hear magic, when you hear witchcraft, you say, oh, you're supposed to say, wow, that sounds beautiful. That's what I did. That's how I learned about it. Somebody said, Ouija board? I said, man, that sounds interesting. Why be afraid? I tell you, I teach you, stop being afraid. Being afraid, you'll never get to learn anything. You'll never get be able to reach new heights, experience greater endeavors. So some of the beliefs. I'm reading out of a book titled An Illuminated Guide to Wicca. And it states that it even has the big letter I, have called this chapter Some Wiccan Beliefs, because there are so many different beliefs that different people who practice magic, traditions, or witchcraft hold. For each individual, right, that you speak to, and this may be even if they are in the same tradition, you will hear different beliefs. This is in part due to the fact that Wicca is very decentralized, just as you do in religion. In Islam, I think there's over 72 sects of Islam here in the wilderness of North America. In Christianity, it's not the same denomination. Whether witches, warlocks, or Wiccans care to admit it or not. Where warlocks is now in the 21st century is much like where Christianity was before the 4th century CE, when the Emperor Constantine decided to standardize Christian beliefs. There is no one central leader. There is no pope. We don't worship nothing. I don't worship Satan. I don't worship Jesus like y'all. We don't worship nothing. Stop being scared of me. Don't be scared of the book. The book is weak anyway. It's watered down. It's not. I'm more powerful than the book. You need to be more concerned about the person carrying the book, not the book. But I see why you make this mistake, because you're so used to seeing people carrying the books on Sunday, and you know what's in that book is not in their heart. So you judge, and you base your life on the things that's seen. And that's very dangerous, you see? Because now, let's say I decide to be an evil witch, practicing evil and low magic. I say, well, this person, right, is upon first basic physical judgment type individual. Ain't that what they teach you? Let your first impression be your best impression. They set you up. They didn't teach you to feel the energy, the vibration, and the frequency of the individual. They told you put a nice hat on. Put some lipstick on. Right? Put a little blue on. Ain't that what they tell you? Shape your beard up. No, matter of fact, cut it off. We want you looking like Obama. Nice, clean, and neat. like the ancient Greeks. You know what I'm talking about? You can't be fooled, because see, if that's the case, then I can dress up to be anything. And you're gonna automatically fall for it. I could come in with a goddamn police suit on. And what, you gonna think I'm a police officer? Sometimes we could be so wrong as what we know about an individual, and it all be due to a lack of proper judgment, or none at all. One thing that us warlocks is aware of is that the religion's going to teach you to not judge anything in life, right? Am I right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sorry, I'm not religious, and I study them though, and maybe I can have forgot or be misquoting or not correctly quoting, but if I'm not mistaken, the Bible teaches people, thou shalt not judge. Where does it say in the Bible, thou shalt not judge? Matthew, see, I know you Christians, y'all already know that. You probably in your head with it. Oh, that's Matthew 7:1 and Luke 6:37. Somebody said, 6:37? Oh, I ain't know it was in 6:37 too. Yeah, look it up. Judge not, and you will not be judged. They train you with the magic that you scared of to not be empowered from day one. Do not judge, or you too will be judged. I ain't never cared for that one, because I studied the Bible several times, so I just don't remember where everything is, but once I see it, and I'm definitely back on it, reflecting back to that time. But I remember clearly when I read that. Well, shit, I don't care if you judge me. I knew right then, right away, and now I'm talking about, I'm at the age of like 4 reading this. 3, perhaps. What? Do not judge, or you too will be judged. No, you need to judge me. I need to hear your judgment. I need to, listen, man, I need my haters, mostly. So getting back into some of the ideas and beliefs, because if we want to spend some more time, we're almost with an hour with this. There is no one central leader, no pope, no centralized dogma in Wicca, and practicing witchcraft or any types of magic. It goes on to state that I believe it is both our strength and our weakness. I believe it is a strength because it allows for great individual freedom and will. I hope keep us from being or becoming too rigid. I say it is also a weakness because it seems that wherever humans find things to divide them rather than uniting them, they often go after their differences. It is a shame because united we would have a great deal more power in the world. I am not talking about the kind of power that corrupts. For all you people who went left on me. Y'all talking about, here we go talking about that magic. That dark magic. No. What did I tell you dark only mean? That which is hidden have not come out yet to light. That what you deal with in and to yourself. All of your information and ideas in yourself that you go over with and answer and talk to. Huh? That's the dark side. When you out here running your mouth, running them gibbers, and you expressing yourself, getting into that which is supposed to be a personal only relationshiping type of thing with your Lord and Savior, now you have brought it to the light. Okay? We would never know you stole that candy bar had you said nothing. So we ain't talking about the kind of power that corrupts, but the kind that will allow us to have more say in how we are seen by the world at large. And that's my concern. I got people talking about they scared of me. That hurt. No one ever in the world said they scared of me. Do I look like the creature to be fearing? Don't chalk me up like that. That's a bad rat. In the Akashic realm, you go back to God. Just imagine, let's just say, you're going to see God after you die. And you get there to God. Well, how was your trip on earth? I mean, everything was cool. You know what I mean? I went through turbulence. I became different religions, and, you know, I couldn't quite get myself together till it was almost time to die. But thank you, Lord, you saved me. But it's just one thing, that Nate, I was scared of him. What? You was scared of who? You know how the motherfucker scared, he start shaking. Nathaniel, I think they called Nathaniel, but I think they called him Nate. No, this can't be so. What do you mean? And then, like, it just gets real chaotic. You can't do that. Nathaniel means gift of God, people. Okay? Look it up in your Bible, John chapter 1, verse 45 to 49. Jesus seen Nathanael sitting under the fig tree. And he said, behold, there is a true Israelite. Israel nigga. A nigga that's real. It's real. Am I real? He said, in him, there's no beguile. And I'm coming from the King James Version, all you goddamn scholars out there who like to cross-transliterate a mindset. Let me stay humble. I'm not grounded. Put my feet back on it. And then I got a little interruption too, connected with that, but at least I don't got the rubber one. I'm minimizing. I can still work with it. You can still do your task at hand, even with the highest form of technology and frequencies and radiations that they got emanating in your area. Okay? That's just to scare people. They didn't know what was going to happen when they started seeing 5G towers going up. You know, yeah, their mathematics and science was right about what they were saying. We're not going to dispute and argue that. However, don't you know this has already been tested? This shit is coming from beyond the walls, B. From the ice walls. Okay? This setup that they doing in your world is by the real, true, and living gods. Not the spooky God that you didn't bring to and prove to nobody yet. You can't, we don't work with that in 2025. That's something you keep to yourself. Keep that in your house. You keep that to yourself. When you out here in the world dealing with people, and I'm telling you this so that you can stand strong and be able to make it. Don't bring no spooky God. Either bring a real God, showing and proving, or don't deal with God at all. Just be what you supposed to be doing at that time. Okay? If you in the drug house, you need to be bagging up. Or whatever. Killing a nigga. So whatever. If you in the church, you need to be sitting your ass still, quiet, listening, and being indoctrinated and spell cast. Okay? Because that's what they're doing to you. That's how you think you're able to get there every Sunday. Look at the time, the day that they pick to start to cast them spells. Don't say shit. If anything, that sounds like days and times where Satan operated. If there was such a thing as Satan. You see? So we're talking about the kind of power that will enable you, giving you the ability to have, not allow ourselves the things that we should have had or should have. Now that we've gotten that out the way, all right, simmer down a little bit. I want to finish up with the video. We're now just a little over an hour. Okay, hopefully we can make that 1:30 mark. Again, I want to appreciate you all who've taken this information and made love to it. Thereby, it will, in return, marinate and love you back, and you're going to prosper and flourish, just like that beautiful tree back there. Okay? You need not be fear of anything that's here to give you prosperity. Just think, this is all you do. As the time that you've spent, and it could be with a plant, a coffee table, a chair in your house, a book. How has your relationship been with it since it's been there? It could be a picture on the wall. And you might say, God damn it, that picture's been sitting there for 6 months now. I never liked that picture. Take that picture down. I'm going to put a new picture up there. That's how you determine the quality of the relationship that you have in existence. No matter what the essence of the thing is. You may have this person in your life, you've done nothing but prosper. And I ain't just talking about physically. I ain't just talking about them was able to come over and clean your house, wipe your windows down, wash your little car for you. I'm talking about you evolved, not only physically, but mentally. You evolved spiritually. Your sight, the way you see things, has become a whole lot clearer, which brought some humility in your life. That's what you stand on. If that's what you want, that's what you're going to get. That's why the individual, the plant, the picture is in your life. It's supposed to give me comfort. Not hang up there for 6 years and all of a sudden I'm talking about that picture looks a little scary to me. Take that down. I'm beginning. People might think you crazy. Mom, you had that picture up there for 14 years. You better be able to give me a sound, reasonable, logical explanation. Else you're going into the hospital. You've been worshiping and praying to that picture of Jesus Christ for 44 years. Ever since I've been born, Mom. Dad. Now all of a sudden you talking about take it down because you're scared? What has overcome you? I'm real talk. I'm going to call the doctor. Who's your primary doctor? So let's wrap this up. Looking at some of the ideas and concepts of people who practice magic, right? And I do, and it states it here in the book that I'm reading, So in resonance with it, I will say that I'm most humbly, for it is never in my intention, apologize to you in advance for anyone or anything I may leave out or be unaware of in this video. Okay? And when I mean by it has here anyone, but I'm gonna say made clear of anything. Okay? Like it says. It's not my intention, nor is it the author of this book that I'm reading, who happens to come in the attribute or sigil of, well, let's not say her name for the sake of privacy. If you want to know, contact me. I'll let you know. But everything isn't for social media. Remember that. Some things I will not be revealing. And this is where, like with some people who are occultists and life guiders and counselors and teachers, they have seminars and classes and things, and you pay them. You go sit down for an hour, $45, $50 or so an hour. It's just to sit down and dialogue with somebody like me of certain intelligence. Some people pay that. I don't do that because I do one-on-one consultation, but you don't have to bring that type of currency. I vibe off a different currency. You may got Bitcoin, you may got dollar bills, you may got coins, you may got food stamps, you may got whatever, all types of currency out here they got today. But again, same with this magic that I'm talking about. It's a little higher than what they taught you and than what you know. And I know you respect me because I know you don't know, because what are one of the telltale signs for me to know that you don't know? You scared. Number one, you scared. And what did I tell you fear mean? You don't know. You don't fear stuff that you know about. I'm frightened to jump out of a plane. They didn't teach me. I don't know nothing about being all right once you pull this string. This is going to come out and make sure it's packed this way, that thing, and the other. But if I check all my reference points or go through the proper procedure of what I'm doing, they don't fear. Huh? If I got 2 Dobermans, a pit bull, and 4 Rottweilers sitting here chilling on the floor with me, and you want to come up and approach and talk, but you from a distance, and I can't hear you. Come on. You talking about no? Come here. What's wrong? You scared? Why you scared? Oh, my dogs. They not gonna bite. Come on. Come on, man. They not gonna bite. If I'm telling you they not gonna bite, they not gonna bite you. Now you come up. You see the dogs didn't even move. They not even paying you no mind. They on another assignment I told them to be on. You cool. They been seen your... that was a great curse. From all over there. They been... You said they smell you. Don't you know that smell, the so-called smelling, goes a long way with a dog? Why do you think they use a greyhound? And by the way, they don't smell your fear. They sense it. You vibrate. You're vibrating. So let's bring a correct knowledge to that too, while we're there. You know what I'm talking about? Like, there's so many things I got to clean up in your mind. It's almost seems like it's going to be impossible, but I know that it can be done. I'm living proof. I'm the evidence of all that I say and bring. Okay? I'm not a robot. I'm not a regurgitated Negro who's going to sit here and recite what. No. I'm going to peep game, dissect it, digest, and manifest it to the best way it suits me. And I don't care two rats' ass, not even about my mom's, whether they like it or not. It's my life. What does he say? Oh, well, it's your life. Nigga, I gave you life, I'll take it away. No, you didn't give me life. I utilized you to come through the physical portal. And I use you as a portal to come here in the physical plane. You ain't got nothing to do with my life. They even teach you in your Bible you are not your own. You see? All teachers just to do what? Keep you in a repetitive ideas cycle of you ain't shit. And so you live 78, 90,000 years. And in every generation of women, she's going to say that nigga ain't shit. Christians, Jews, and Muslims all believe in a heavenly paradise where they will go after death and be away from all the ills of the world. The author states that they believe such thinking has led us to where we are now, which is pretty much only at a 33 degree, respectfully. But she writes that it's in a state of environmental chaos and climate change. So warlocks, witches, people who practice magic, we all conceive to the conception that the earth is our mother and that we must treat her with love and respect more than any of you religious people ever do. Too busy worried about him. Let the women worry about him. I'm a man. I prefer to worry about her, she. No wonder America's so, let me stay respectful. You miss me with the gay bomb. And I know I probably shouldn't have said that, but y'all gotta forgive me. You ain't fighting the war that I'm fighting. So it ain't as serious as, it's not the seriousness that you're dealing in with as it is like mine. All you got to do is just worry about making sure your bills get paid and you got food in your mouth. And you got something on your back. And and God gonna pretty much keep that for you going on. Shit. Yeah, that's an easy, beautiful life to live. I used to think like that. I wasn't always illuminated. My pineal gland was calcified too at one time. Deity is immanent in nature and we honor the cycles of growth. When I say we talk about the warlocks, the witches, the Wiccans. We honor the cycles of growth, decay, and rebirth that we see in the seasons. as reading on, it states that as you may have gathered from reading above or from you listening, Wiccans do tend to honor both the female and the male and the godhood. This can take different forms among different Wiccans or warlocks or witches. On the whole, Wiccans tend, and I'm going to repeatedly use the word Wiccans because that's what they're using here to identify with people who practice witchcraft. Okay, it's just the female. The Wiccans are the females. All right. So if you're a warlock, or if you're a male, then you're a warlock. You're a wizard. All right. You're the one like in Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. Okay, they showed you there. They showed you the same thing I'm telling you. They showed you on TV. Don't act like I'm giving you something new. You know you enjoyed those movie shows. Stop playing with me. You wasn't scared then? Ain't none of you niggas come out the movie theater scared after watching Harry Potter. You gonna stop playing with me, man. I'm not the one. You go do that to the professors in school and your teachers. So we honor both the female and the male in the godhood. This can take different forms among different Wiccans. On the whole, Wiccans tend to be polytheists, although there are some who believe that all are one. However, that one contains both male and female. Others believe in many gods and goddesses. You have people like me who believe in nothing but trust only in thyself. Much like my YouTube channel. In me, I trust. Make sure you spell the word I out. E-Y-E, not the letter I. Check. So there are also a current stream of thought that is atheists or non-atheists at least, seeing the gods and the goddesses as archetypes alone. In the tradition I was trained in, not me, the author of the book writes, that we see the gods and goddesses as beings that are bigger than humanity. Is that true? Is that a good concept to hold? Sure, because one holds it. And whatever the level of insight it is for that individual at that time, it's going to be. But could it be a safe, intelligent, not common idea or statement? Yes. Because why? It states that, let's go over it again. We see the gods and goddesses as beings, B-E-I-N-G-S, right? Meaning something that exists, that are bigger than humanity. What is humanity? People that are human collective as a whole. Check. So is there anybody greater than humans? Of course. There are the people who created the humans. Each God has a God in which you created after. Yours might be your mother, your father. Okay? That's where you came from. And on and on and on. Each individual has to identify for themselves. Some people come from turtles. Some people come from, I just seen a baby elephant was born on social media. That's the portal that you choose. That's going to be the God that you nurture from for a certain period of time. Then, like any other God, they got to send you on. And that's the problem I got with religious people and their gods. You act like y'all going to stay and hung on to this creature forever. When are you going to get up and do something that he taught you or she taught you and do for thyself? I mean, like, come on. Wouldn't you even be tired if somebody was always around you? You brought up and you've been, put up under your wing. And now it's time for you to like, yo, it's time to go on. You've been here too long. You trying to raise other children. Feed them. Enlighten them. But this nigga 39 years old and still around. Human shit. So, I'm greater than human. I'm bigger than human. So, the best thing that you can worship is thyself. And it goes on to say that they not only that they see these gods and goddesses who have chosen to look out for us and hear our prayers. They may robe themselves in the trimmings on we provide. For example, a mother goddess can appear as Isis, or a Demeter, or a Sistress, or a Phrygia, depending on who is calling upon her, and for what. And let me state, all these Isis and gods, Atum Ra, and Mickey Mouse and Tweety Birds and Daffy Ducks on the pyramids, those symbolisms of empowerment. They're not actual real creatures that exist. Oh, don't get me wrong, they do it, but not here on your plane. All right, so whether they was depicting them or not, it's still the bottom line. It's a representation, a depiction, a script, a concept idea of information that is meant to be extracted internally. Okay? The Garden of Eden would be your pineal gland, your higher self. We're going to start and take it from the top. We're going to work your way down from the crown chakra to the root chakra. There's also a current stream of thought that is atheist or non-atheist, at least seeing the gods and the goddesses archetype. We said that. So, one thing that I have observed in the time that I have been Wiccan is that definition of male and female are changing in many ways, as well as the notion that a person can be non-gender binary, and so can deity. I think that the emphasis on duality has cost Wicca some members, and that we need to change as the time changes. All right? Which is a good idea. You need to change as the time changes. Else, what you do from the 1960s, it would be to no avail, and not as powerful and strong as it should be in the 2000s. You supposed to have upgraded. At least. You upgrade your phone every so often, right? Even you people who got the high technology phone, your phone even every 30, 60, 90 days, I think, sends you a message that it's time to upgrade it. Right? So magic is often the thing that attracts people to Wicca or witchcraft. Because we hear magic and we know it's a little bit more than pulling a quarter out behind somebody's ear or flipping cards in front of you. That's not magic. Those are tricks. And we're going to wrap this up at 1:30. I got 6 minutes. I'll hit my mark. I want to hit that. That's important for me. So let's move on. So naturally, if you like me, you want to understand and know what's the difference of magic. Real simple. Having the ability to manifest the things that I see in the dark and bring it to light. That's it. That's magic, people. Whether you do this and you do this. Because there are elements and ingredients that you do need and use. But If you use the only 4 requirements and master it well with self, you can bypass all the humming and sitting with your legs crossed and lighting candles on a 5-pointed star. That's going to scare somebody. When you as powerful as like I am, you become like the cartoon. I forget which one I want to use, but like Transformers, you know, when they, the Power Rangers, when they ready to go to work, they don't sit there and start humming, putting fingers and shit all together. Put my tongue on the roof of my mouth. Come together, power. It's too late, nigga. You beat up now. I done cut your head off when you had your eyes closed and your legs crossed. What you thought I was gonna wait for you to finish? You talking about, I want to go to war. Hold up. I got an offer slot. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Like, come on, man. You do that one more time, that will be your last. Okay? So, again, magic is often the thing that attracts people to Wicca in the first place. The notion that there is more to this world than what humans' eyes can see unaided. Some may find their way to Wicca because they wish to work spells. Those the one you stay away from. Don't teach them and don't tell them nothing. Anybody come to you ever talk about, Nate, I want to learn because I want to do spell casting on people. I'm not responsible how I'm going to act. You see me. I'm psycho with it. Because they trigger words. Just like a handler do, like they do on TV and in Hollywood. They get that from us, from the above. We got handlers too. And we got triggers, like nigger. A white man called me nigger. I had 4 occasions and none of them was pretty for them. That's just the way it is. I don't know who did it. I don't know. I can't remember. If you was to ask me and try to, and even, I don't even think they're going to remember. It jumps dimension. Something happens. I know about vortex and shape-shifting and, oh man, I'm teaching y'all. But here's the thing. The greatest lesson only going to come from when you start to learn and teach yourself. I'm just taking you to the door with this magic shit. You gotta stop being scared. Go on in there, close the door and cut the lights on. You talking about, Nate, come on, I can't see, help me out. Help me find the lights. What did Professor X say to Wolverine when he tried to go in? Hold. You can't go, bro. He said, I gotta go first. You know why? This is my domain. This is my journey. No matter what you say, no matter how you feel, or what you do, if it's in my direction, intended for me, and it doesn't warrant it, you can cause yourself great harm. And you do it in your each and everyday experiences not because but you don't realize it and you are hurting yourself. You wonder why you have bad dreams. You wonder why somebody call you up and cut you out for no reason at all. I tell you why. It's something you did earlier in the day to somebody else. It's real simple. Mathematics, people. Once people come to Wicca, some may find their way to Wicca because they wish to work spells. And that's dangerous. You stay away from them people. That's not what it's about. Although, yeah, you're going to be working spells, but You can't want to, no. That's like going to, I mean, like, the military might take you. You go in there talking about, I want to join the military because I want to kill people. What size you wear? You know what I mean? I got these Middle Eastern boys fucking with me. But the moral is, excuse my language too, I'm sorry. The moral, you know what I'm getting at is that, yeah, you got to, I forgot where I was getting at. Let's just finish reading. I'm getting tired. So, again, it's not about working spells. You know, you will be working spells. Even if you're working spells now, but you're unaware. When you work in witchcraft and magic, see, when you start naming it like that, all they're saying is that now you're aware. That's why the book is called Illuminated God. It's no longer in the dark of how you're manifesting your affairs and events in life. You see? That is, they wish to change their circumstances in some way by using magic. Once people come to Wicca, they find that what they are really seeking is empowerment of themselves, which Wicca certainly provides. That's why I say, yeah, you're going to work magic. But you need to understand first what magic is and then how to utilize it. I can't give you a goddamn tool, nigga, that you ain't used to handling. You might hurt yourself. You're not used to no 80-pound jackhammer. You may need to start off with a little hammer drill. Go through a brick or something. Learn, put up a railing. You trying to tear down Donald Trump wall with an 80-pound. No, you're going to hurt yourself. You need to have the appropriate tools and be able to utilize them properly. I see it all the time. You wouldn't believe. Person getting $26 an hour, $30 an hour. Ain't even throwing cement off the trout right. And by the time they 30 years old, they got joint problems. Why? Because they never learned their technique in laying the cement off the trout. You see? So, once people come to Wicca, they find that what they're really seeking is empowerment. Having said that, magic, both high and low, is definitely something that Wiccans practice. So, what are we saying here? And it's 33. Wow. I'm almost done. Matter of fact, let's say no more. Let's wrap this up. These are sometimes thrown around as value judgments, right? Which I would prefer to stay away from. I find all magic is useful, and we need, if for a variety of reasons. And we need it for a variety of reasons. However, if we need to differentiate, low magic tends to be magic for oneself. Attracting a lover. You want, like I said, more money. You want a job. You want to get away from somebody. You want to hurt somebody because they hurt you. Protecting oneself. That's all low magic. High magic is the work of perfecting one's soul. Are we clear? To becoming more like that of all the gods. To become like the gods themselves. Become closer to these gods. See, I'm cool with all y'all gods, and you don't even know that. Jesus, I told you, don't run from me. He's not scared of me. Jesus will put a spell on me that'll have me in my bag. Notice what I told you. And when I'm in my bag, that's the best part of life, because I'm cooking up something to come out with. Yo, Jesus, that was nice. I like that one. Wait till I come out with this one. Jesus said, oh, okay. I see you how you healed the blind. Watch this. You do go, you know what I mean, on that spirit cooking or whatever you do. Meditation. And I heard Jesus stayed in the temple for like what? 15 years, 30 years, something like that. Muhammad went up in the Hijra. Moses was up in the mountains. So, you know you in your bag when a nigga going that long. We called them in the States MIA, nigga missing in action. Where Nate at? Oh, he on his bench. Yeah, you know, that nigga in his bag somewhere. We live in the physical world, however, and sometimes we need help on the physical plane. Yes, even me. Because I got 1 foot in and 1 foot out. When you in the physical world, you dead. You half dead, nigga. You ain't alive. Why you think you wake up every day talking about hello, good morning? Because your ass, you tired of this. You know you hate getting up paying bills. You mourn. That night, you dread it. I got to get up and go to work tomorrow. I don't feel like doing this. So now I see you come daybreak. Hello. Good morning. Another ass nigga. He probably didn't even wash his face. That's the humans. This is how I be hearing the humans act. So we live in the physical world. However, sometimes we need help in the physical plane. So I honestly do not consider any magic to be low off the rights. Okay? And in closing, I'm going to say that love is the law of magic, of witchcraft. Love is the law of witchcraft and magic. Love is the law of witchcraft and magic. Love under will. Okay? Again, this idea is rather vague and open to interpretation, but essentially, do what you want, but harm no one. Now, some of you may know this as an Aleister Crowley statement. He said, do what thy will. It's probably in the Book of Law. And that pretty much is the only law of not harming, killing, or getting in the way of anyone's pursuit to liberty, freedom, peace, and equality in life. Ethics will be covered more in my videos that's to come. All right? So in closing, I'm going to read out of this. It states that as you may have, and I hope that this information has brought you prosperity, enlightenment, and you no longer shall you walk around in fear. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. From this point on, day forward, any magic that comes against you, it won't prosper if it's not warranted. And people, they believe me. You hear me, you trust in me. Listen, even if your next door neighbor wishes for you to move, that's spell casting and magic that's taking place right in front of your face. Okay? In order for magic to manifest, it has to be in the etheric realm. Okay? You have to deal in the you have to use these spiritual forces. So anytime someone has a ill will intent in their mind for you, now that don't mean that it's going to happen. It's going to manifest or come into fruition. This is why you got to stay on your game. Or at least you better be a little religious, humble peasant. And, everywhere you go, where everybody says, "Oh, look at this little sweet piece of nothing individual. How can it, huh? You want a pork chop? I'm going to Porky's Point tonight. Would you like to go to Porky's Point?" And yeah, huh? Right. You're not going to get much backlash in existence. But if you're the type of person, like, for instance, and you may find it strange, but niggas hate people who is what they call Trump narcissistic. They hate somebody who walk with their head up high, chest out, authoritative, speak with fire. They don't like that. There's people who don't like that. And they going to wish you ill will. If you stay on your game, and this follows under the "no weapon shall ever prosper" part in your Bible, you ain't got to worry about nothing. That energy that they sent out acts as a boomerang. That's why we got the boomerang concept. What goes out, it got to come back. You see? That's how I know how to have a most beautiful, extravagant life. I build it. That's magic, nigga. That's magic. I build it here first and wait for it to flourish the results when it comes in the physical. And I used to be surprised. But it goes on so profoundly and consciously. It's like the thing of the norm for me. I mean, like, this is your turn to be surprised. I got people surprised at me. Don't know how he did it. As you may have gleaned from the above information that you've heard, the early information that you've heard, personal responsibility is paramount. In witchcraft, all right? So when it comes to dealing with the forces, the elements of nature, personal responsibility is paramount. Be careful of how you're casting your spell. And people, if you're not even conscious of casting your spell, you're just an average religious person, be careful how you think. Because religion is just watered down sorcery and magic. When are you going to get this through your thick heads? Your thick pineal glands? Huh? Your concrete pineal gland. You're just on a lesser scale of working magic. Whereas you only gonna call on Jesus. She may call on Buddha. He may call on Muhammad. Each God came with a different frequency. You see? Counter to what public culture shows, such as the chilling adventures of the Sabrina, the Teenage Witch, which was a movie, The Craft, and countless other examples, will tell you that people who practice witchcraft do not believe in a personified evil. Like a devil or Satan. It is highly frustrating to have to constantly explain to people that practice witchcraft are definitely not the same as satanists, and oftentimes in articles about witchcraft in the mainstream media, those interviewed seem to have to spend a lot of time explaining what witchcraft is not. I'd rather prefer to keep demonstrating and showing you and getting you up out of your fearful state. And because we do not believe or accept in the concept or idea of a centralized evil, it is entirely up to us to mind our behavior. It's up to me to mind my behavior. We do not believe in the laws of karma as seen in the threefold law. However, we also don't believe that there is something out there tempting us to do wrong and behave badly. It is entirely up to us to monitor our behaviors and treat others well. That's going to conclude the session on explaining the greatness and goodness of why and how I'm practicing witchcraft. Take care of yourself. Make sure you stay in your crystal ball. If you don't have a crystal ball, I suggest you get yourself one. And if you don't know where they are, just look deep inside the crevices of the sublime particles of your own mind. Peace.